Hello and welcome to the PowerSwitch, gaming's call-in talk radio show. My name is Peter Spezia, and today is June 13th, 2017. This is the E3 2017 Nintendo Post-Spotlight podcast, the last conference for E3 for 2017. It's a little wistful, a little sad here. But I'm joined by Scott White from DashingNerds.com to help us kind of sort out this 25-minute show. And now, granted, Nintendo has hours of Treehouse Live left to go. They've got it going on right now. They're doing more Super Mario Odyssey here. They say announcements are coming there. We wanted to focus on these 25 minutes because there's certainly a lot to talk about. So we're going to go through what we think and give our grade for the conference. And then we will get to you, the callers. So for the Power Switch, you can go to rhymeswithasia.com/call on our Discord channel. And for every episode of the podcast, we have people call in and give their feedback, whether it's gaming topics of the week and whatnot. But for these E3 2017 episodes, very focused on what just happened coming right after the fact, after this conference. So we'll start with a little montage. They had a sort of commercial where they showed the multiplayer games that were for Nintendo Switch. And Switch being the focus of the spotlight. No 3DS games at all here. Right. Important to know. Unless you count Fire Emblem Warriors, which is also a 3DS game. But they were showing Switch footage there. They showed Rocket League.
Yeah, they opened with Rocket League.
That was a great surprise in there. You see cars there, and it's like, cars? Are you doing what I think you're doing? And sure enough, that was the case. That was a neat little surprise there for sure. Then we go into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, committing to the holiday 2017 release date. Have you played Xenoblade Chronicles? So your thoughts on its sequel, and did that trailer make you more excited, less excited?
I'm happy that they're still saying it's coming out in 2017.
Yeah.
I'm still believing it will be pushed to 2018, but at least for now, it's still 2017. It looks good. I miss kind of I'm not a huge fan of the direction they went with the more anime appearance to a lot of the characters, and I cannot stand the outfit on the main character with like the scuba chaps and stuff. I do not like that. Yeah. It looks like it's going. I got a very Tales of Destiny vibe where if you haven't played that, one of the main mechanics and kind of ideas behind it are these sentient swords, the Swordians, and I get a vibe from this with Pyra or
I think that's her name. Yeah,
Pyra meeting the main character Rex, and then she's also a fire sword, and it looks like you'll be fighting other enemies and people with also elemental sentient swords. So I mean, that looks cool. It's an interesting idea. I'm gonna get it regardless because I'm a huge fan of the Xeno series from Saga to Gears, etc. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that was a neat little trailer. Then we go in Kirby. Not a surprise that it eventually comes on Switch. I think the more of a surprise there was that they just said Kirby 2018. Like, okay, so you haven't even committed to a title yet, but we're showing all this gameplay. That's unusual to me. And it started a trend certainly, but I found that odd that it seems to be far enough that you can put this trailer together, and you're still like it's just a code word, like it's Kirby 2018 for now. Like that was unusual. The same thing with Pokemon, and we throw to the Pokemon Company, and we were kind of just saying during the commentary on Facebook.com/DashingNerds, where your time is at a premium.
Right.
I know you talked about Pokemon Tournament. The more time you spend on it, you're wasting time. Like you announced it at the Pokemon Direct. I know you have the tournament coming up. But the longer you spend on it, like you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And then,
nonchalantly.
Again, not a surprise that a Pokemon Core RPG is in development, for maybe next year, maybe for 2018 by Game Freak. I mean, I could have told you that from, different leaks and all that, that was happening. But
this is one of the things that going on throughout the rest of Nintendo's conference really irked me. It's just, we're doing it.
And it's like it's non-committals.
Right. It's like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm glad.
We'll do it, and you'll hear more about it when we're ready. And man, it goes to the next announcement where you see space, and I was joking, so Star Fox, but Metroid though.
Yeah, and then,
but Metroid, and like the Screw Attack logo starts to come in place. Once 4 pops up, immediately it's Metroid Prime 4. It was,
and then it's nothing. It's just the name. It's like
not even a studio, and
No.
again, it better have good journalists asking questions on the floor. Who is making Metroid Prime 4? I'm
Right.
sure it's something that's going to be talked about.
Right.
If not from a journalist asking questions, maybe we'll see it in the treehouse. But I'm glad it gets the Metroid fans kind of from the grave in a way. Just to
I'm glad, but I feel like something simple, like something like that's just it's happening. It also detracts from. I feel like you're cheating fans also by just being like, yeah, we're doing it, instead of just waiting till next year or something and be like, have a gameplay trailer and really like blow the lid off, or even later on in the year with a Nintendo Direct, like a special, totally out of nowhere.
But that was one of those games where if it's not shown here, like you really start to raise questions like, is the franchise really dead? Like now people are excited for when we do see that news, and I think for me the weirdest part of it was, I think anyone remotely talented in animation could have made that. It would have looked so fake if that leaked ahead of time.
Yeah.
That announcement trailer, because it's just like it almost
it's particle effects into a title.
It looked a little amateur hour. I'm just gonna say that. And when you just held on the screen like a static screen there for Metroid Prime 4, that was so. Again, glad there's Metroid, but
it's
I
awesome
think
that it's being made. I think it was a really shitty way to announce that it's being made.
the presentation of it kind of was a little lack to be desired there. Same thing with Yoshi. Again, you have a lot of gameplay for this Yoshi. Yarn Yoshi's back. Maybe it's Woolly World 2. Maybe they go a more punny.
Right.
Yoshi flips with a Z. I don't know, but maybe you go something like that. But just to again say Yoshi 2018. Like, where's the committal there? Like, where's the title if it's so far along that you have enough to put this admittedly nice looking trailer together? The Kirby game and the Yoshi game, it's like, yeah, that's fun. Like, looks good for that series. But I'd like to know an actual title so we can start documenting these things. I don't know. Fire Emblem Warriors, it's no gameplay, but cutscene like footage of characters interacting. It's it's the Marth games. It's Awakening. It's Fates.
Awakening
and
and Fates will
too
be
much
the
else.
main one, which irks me. And all we've seen are sword people. We haven't seen any mages. We haven't seen any of the spear or axe wielders. It's like, yes, okay.
And these aren't new complaints, but it would have been great to have that kind of trailer kind of take care of some of those. It would have been a nice surprise, like, oh hey, by the way, we're gonna throw in Micaiah from Radiant Dawn. She's a magic user. Like, just something a little nice thing. Like, we're listening, we get it, but alas, not the case. Fall 2017. Of course, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I mean, hitting on the fact that items will be in Skyward, not Skyward Sword, Skyrim. Not only that, but the DLC as well. I'm talking about the Master Trials for June 30th. Just a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
Like 2-3 weeks away.
Yeah.
So that's good. Some extra modes there. Some of them were detailed before, but good to see visualizations of that. And then kind of touching on what like the story DLC and in Holiday will be. When you're showing the champions and you're showing Princess Zelda there, it seems like it's going to be something set in the past, like 100 years before. I think that's really exciting. They also talk about an amiibo line. That's really good. Now, that doesn't count for our yes or no questions on a new game line, but aren't there Rabbids, like Mario and Rabbids amiibo?
No.
No?
There are figurines, like collectibles from Ubisoft, but they're just of the characters. They are not amiibo.
Interesting. So that's another question that we had and that everyone said was going to happen. I don't think we've seen confirmation yet. That's another announcement.
Speaking of Rabbids, we saw it again.
More, yeah. I'm glad that only held so long. Like, that was fine. Announce it. It is coming for this year. It's August 29th. but again, it didn't overstay its welcome. And and Guillemot makes his appearance just as Shigeru Miyamoto was on Ubisoft stage. So they swap places. Okay, fine. Get the announcement there.
I still feel like it didn't belong there.
I think what took up time before it was
Mario Odyssey amiibo.
Oh, there you go, Mario Odyssey amiibo. That would be a new game line. Just right there. We were talking about amiibo, and I'll tell you right there on the treehouse, Mario Odyssey amiibo. He's looking there, a little dapper in his white tux, and what else is there? Don't cut away. Oh, it's Peach and Bowser also in there.
Bride Peach and Groom Mario and Groom Bowser.
Interesting. Okay, so that is an amiibo line. So yes, all right. What happens when Nintendo continues to announce news while we record this show? And they also plug the tournaments, which granted, get it out there, mention it, but do it very quickly. I think it again, when time is at the essence,
right,
you have to be a little picky here when you announce it's 25 minutes ahead in advance. Then they went back to Rocket League, and great, show that you have the cross-network play. I think that's a big feature, because Switch user base would only be so big. Mario and Luigi hats, great. Holiday 2017, okay. Didn't necessarily need the developers, as great as Jeremy Dunham and Psyonix are. Didn't need them to come out. Again, it's tick, tick, tick.
And Essence, it was the second time in the span of 25 minutes that we saw Rocket League.
True.
There was no... They could have condensed it into a single one.
The surprise was gone. I'll say that much. And then, we wrap up with Super Mario Odyssey, October 27th. Great release date for that. It's going to compete a little bit with Assassin's Creed Origins for me, but, we'll see about that. And
then it just abruptly cut to black screen and was over.
Well, we knew it was going to be last. Unless they did the surprise Smash. No Smash yet. I'm a little disappointed by that. I will say that. But yeah, Odyssey has a cool new mechanic with some possession. That's pretty neat. I did not expect that. So what they've shown so far on the Treehouse Live looks really good, and I'll be excited for that for sure. But overall, there's not a lot you can do with 25 minutes, and so I hope people didn't get their expectations up too high. But there are still certain things to be picky with. What would be your grade for this Nintendo?
I like this. There were a couple surprises. I don't like how they were handled. I think they could have been saved. I'm glad that they came out and said, "Yeah, we're making a core Pokemon RPG." Cool. I'm glad Metroid's coming back. That's cool. Kirby, Yoshi, those all look good. But I'm like, just the way they handled it, and some of their choices to include, like talking about the tournaments and going back to Rocket League, and a lot of them seem to be just... We didn't really get many firm release dates outside of Odyssey. Everything was just, it's this time frame, or 2018. I'm going to have to go like a CC+. I was let down by their presentation, or I was let down by how they presented it. Their content was fairly good. Like the Kirby looked good, Yoshi looked good, Odyssey looks fantastic, but overall I was just kind of like, seriously, this is how you decide to fill your 25 minutes. So I'm going to go like CC+.
Okay. I'll say B, because there is only so much you can do with 25 minutes. I think overall they did an okay job with trying to fill as much as they could in that 25 minutes. I mean, 25 minutes goes in the blink of an eye for other presenters, presentations at E3. You could get 3 games, I think, Ubisoft, or maybe even Sony, had like 3 games in 25 minutes, and they got much more in that. So I think there were enough nice surprises. I harped on it enough. I would have had a title associated with things like Kirby, like Metroid, or not Metroid Prime 4, obviously, like Yoshi. With the Pokemon game, I think it's going to start speculation that Gen 8 is going to, they're planning for Gen 8. Like, it's unusual to think of it that soon and to keep adding fuel to the fire, but if you're talking about a core RPG for Pokemon, like, it's only going to start fueling that fire.
And I mean, that's why they're doing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. It's just, we need something in between, because the new core Gen 8 or whatever for Switch will take a while. Okay, we'll release Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon to keep that going for a while longer.
Yeah.
Next E3... I imagine we'll have Metroid. We'll have the Pokemon Gen 8. I think those will be two heavy hitters next year for E3. But yeah.
But so yeah, I mean, I think it was fine for the 25-minute stipulation that they put themselves. Now we'll see how they continue with Treehouse. I think that will overall help their E3 presence if they keep having news. Almost like in a way with Sony and how they had the hour before.
Oh, I completely
Some
agree.
of those news bits would have really helped in the conference, but they chose not to do that. I'll say a B overall for the conference, but I can understand why people would be more pessimistic about it.
Right, and even so, like with Metroid and Pokemon and stuff, I think that would have also been really cool to have, instead of just showing the thing in this 25-minute period, if Shigeru Miyamoto or the Pokemon guys were there, have them talk about it a bit in the treehouse.
Yeah?
I mean, that would be and then you could have that time to show more gameplay of things or
Probably would have
trailers
been
and
an
things
acceptable
like
way.
right.
Yeah, but you're going to have more eyes on the spotlight, of course. That only makes sense. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, games like Rhythm Heaven Fever Mega Mix were announced and confirmed during a Treehouse thing. So games can be announced.
Oh, exactly.
We'll still have to
I'm
see
expecting
how that
a lot
goes.
of cool stuff out of the treehouse.
And
No doubt.
Bill Trin is talking up the first couple segments, and so we just had Mario Odyssey ended. When we come back, we'll get to the callers, and we'll see what Nintendo has next on their Treehouse Live. But what did you think about the Nintendo Spotlight, that 25-minute show? Let us know. We'd love to hear what you think, and you can also comment on what another caller had to say as well. That's all when we come back here on the Power Switch.
Know that you're my superstar. No one else can take me this far. I'm flipping the switch. Get ready for this song. Let's do the Odyssey.
Welcome back to the Power Switch. While Reggie Fils-Aimé is on stage at the Nintendo Treehouse Live, he has a 2DS XL. They're looking at the booth a little bit. We'll keep checking back in during our recording of the show and where Nintendo's at with their live presentation here. But as far as the spotlight goes, there were 10 questions we had for the yes and no contest for the Power Switch. Kind of want to run through them very quickly, see where we currently stand, and of course, some of these may change if they are not, conference specific. So we've got 2 of 3 Switch ports confirmed: Super Smash Bros., Super Mario Maker, Xenoblade Chronicles X. None of them yet, at least anyway. We'll see what happens with Treehouse Live. Pokemon Stars is confirmed and exclusive to Switch. No, not.
It's not called Stars, but they didn't announce a Switch Pokemon game.
Well, it's definitely not exclusive to Switch. That's for sure. So no, as of this point. Animal Crossing or F-Zero for Switch revealed. No. Another new game line of Amiibo is revealed. Yes, Super Mario Odyssey. That just happened. So. That is the case. Mother 3 has a Switch port announced. Not yet. Nope. The price of Switch's online service is announced and is less than $26 annually. That was announced before E3. That is a yes. GameCube Virtual Console plans are announced. I mean, what Virtual Console at this point? No, not yet. More than 3 new games for 3DS are revealed during the Direct. No. A Nintendo mobile game is mentioned during the Direct. No. Surprising. And then using the phrase up until now. Did not hear it.
No.
Did not hear it at all. So, wow. Judging by our expectations going in at least a few weeks out from E3, that was a whole lot of nothing there from Nintendo.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what was discussed during that spotlight, and we'll get to the callers here. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Joining us from Texas, Jesse, welcome back to the Power Switch.
I'm sorry, did I say that we were talking about F-Zero today? I meant next E3.
It's always got to keep pushing it back. No F-Zero now. When there was the bit during the spotlight when the car zoomed by, raced by.
I know!
And it's like,
For the second time with
F-Zero.
Rocket League.
And then the ball started bouncing. It's like,
That's
no.
Rocket League again.
I can't imagine how you felt.
It's okay. It's okay. I already got another franchise making a comeback, so I'm good.
Yeah, how about that Metroid Prime?
I screamed.
Yeah?
Someone who was in the call with me can confirm, I screamed when I saw that.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I can't wait to see what they do with how they handle a developer announcement, who is handling it. If it is retro, I think that makes it super exciting.
I think it's probably going to be retro.
It's got to be, right? I mean, I mean, but then you had Metroid Prime Federation Force, and that certainly wasn't.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
can you imagine if when that 4 came out, I had no idea what it was gonna be. Like, is this a Metroid Fusion remake? Part of me was
Right.
just saying, can you imagine if like it was just a 4 and then like words came to the side of it saying Federation Force?
Oh god, no, that'd be so
Switch.
bad. Oh man, oh that would be the worst troll ever. Like that'd be throw everything against the wall and just walk out. Oh man, but no, I'm glad that gets us very excited about it. But yeah, I mean, just to say in development.
And that's fine. That's all we need right now for Metroid. It's just a confirmation that we're getting something new. And I think this is very good for Switch.
Yeah, it's not dead.
Speaking of which, yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's all I need right now. That being said, another game that got announced in a very similar fashion, the Pokemon game for Switch.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about time being of the essence, and I feel like this just wasn't minimalist enough. I think what they should have just done is just open the same way with him at his desk, but just say, playing a Switch, and he should just say, Pokemon. And then cut to black.
That would have been awesome. Just to like drop the mic there, like it's coming.
Pokemon, back to Reggie.
And then you have like just say Pokemon and then poof, like black screen, white text 2018. Like that would
that'd
be
be
really
great.
cool. Yeah.
Kirby was completely unexpected for me this early in a console's lifespan. Kirby's usually like the late game thing.
Yeah, it's
for,
almost like a library extender in a way.
I think this is probably might have been a Wii U game that got bumped up the Switch.
I could see that. Yeah. I mean,
I think
I'm trying to think what Canvas Curse, whatever the what was the one on Wii U that
Yarn Kirby.
yeah.
Epic Yarn was on Wii. Oh wait, Canvas, whatever it was. I haven't played the Wii U one, so.
I think it was called Canvas Curse, but the number of Kirby games in the last several years is just kind of adding up and getting to me. But yeah, the one where you kind of drew on the touchscreen and it was like
Oh wait,
I was like one on
Getting the
DS.
World
Premiere on
premiere.
stream right
3DS Scream. World premiere.
Uh oh, live here reaction. Let's see what we've
Live
got.
reactions.
It's 3D. All right, so
Yeah.
here we go. We'll do a play-by-play here. It's 3DS. We're kind of in a cave here.
Certainly 3DS.
Oh my God, Metroid! More Metroid? Are you kidding me? There's another Metroid game?
So change the.
Yo,
Put
yo,
the YouTube
yo,
up.
Oh!
dude, 2D Metroid.
Oh my God!
There's a 2D Metroid. Shows
Ah!
Yo,
Yeah, buddy.
This is everything I wanted.
Oh
I am
man.
so fucking happy right now. Oh my God!
Oh, look at that. Some melee. Samus has got a melee.
She
move
kind
here?
of did that in
Smash.
no
That's
Other
something
M,
they did
didn't
in,
she?
Other M.
Maybe I don't remember an actual control for it.
No, that's wait a minute. Is this Metroid 2?
Dude, if
This
it
could be.
is, holy shit.
It's
that-
another Metroid 2 remake.
Another.
Looks like the fauna of Metroid 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's the Metroid life cycle from Metroid 2. I think this is a Metroid 2 remake.
The music is
Which
good.
is-
Metroid.
Samus
Samus
Returns.
Returns. Yeah, Metroid 2,
Yeah.
Samus Returns. Dude.
Yo!
Oh man, that's kind of why they put the kibosh on AM2R.
Yeah.
Oh man, because
Not
they're
the
fucking
first
making it.
With no release date.
Oh.
Okay.
My God!
Why do you not put that in your direct?
See, that's
Well,
what I'm
that
fucking
is no
talking
problem.
about.
In many ways, this conference was similar to the PlayStation one, but with PlayStation, I expect a big long E3. With Nintendo, I expected a short one. So in that sense, with what we got in this one, I was actually surprised. I was like, wow, this is better than most. This is probably the best E3 they've done in years. And it's better to put these debuts after your conference than put them before, because people are still watching. Whereas when you put them before, people don't know to come tune in. So I think overall this is, in my mind, better than the PlayStation one.
Yeah,
So
it
now
was
we've seen them
very
all, I
exciting.
think
Yeah,
Now
so
we've seen them all.
I don't know. I'm kind of floored right now. That just happened.
Yeah, it's a remake of Metroid 2.
Well, good. I mean, it should because there was a lot wrong with Metroid 2. And again, yeah,
Yeah,
like
that
I
game
said,
had some problems.
it goes back to
A lot of problems.
why they interfere with the fan project if they're going to be actually making money on something they actually are making.
I might actually play a
Nothing
Metroid
personnel,
game.
kid.
My wife, everybody.
Hi, I'm sick. How are you
Hey,
doing?
Rachel.
We're excited about Metroid.
Okay. Can
Oh,
we
I'm
have
not the game-
Pokemon
that
RPG
time.
for Switch Plus?
They already announced it.
They
I
said
know. Well, they said apparently a sentence about it.
yes.
Yeah.
That was about all. Makes me wonder if Gen 8's going to be on Switch. That would be interesting.
That would be cool. Well, they probably. I would say if they bring out Gen 8 on Switch, they would also have to do it for the 3DS, like have a port of it.
Well,
or
probably.
something.
Well, it should be
For
easy
the
to
people that can't afford a Switch.
should be easy to scale down, I'd imagine.
Thank you very much for the well wishes, everybody.
I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, wow, Jesse, I think we're going to leave it at that. I don't know how we can top that to have a Metroid announced while you're on the air.
Yep, I had other things I was going to talk about, but you know what? I can talk about that later because, like, hot damn.
All right, thanks so
This
much
is
for
like-
calling in. You have a good one.
You
Later.
too. Like,
Hot diggity damn.
goodbye.
Joining us from Georgia, Matthias. Welcome back to the PowerSwitch.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Nintendo and their Spotlight. What would you like to talk about with it?
Well, kind of the whole thing in general because I don't have a Switch yet, but I'm planning on getting one in July.
It'd be a good time to get one, yeah, with the Splatoon 2. Probably bundle almost at that point, I think.
Possibly. And I think I do want to get that, but I think the two games I mainly are planning to get when I do get it is Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 because I don't have a Wii U. So
Yeah. If especially if you didn't have a Wii U, like those are must-owns for Switch. Like they're easily the best experiences on there for sure. Yeah, it must be excited to see some of those games. I mean, you'll have Mario Odyssey, coming out a few months later. Like that's looking like a must-own.
yep, that's
Which
definitely
games?
another big one.
Yeah, which games made you the most interested?
Definitely the Mario Odyssey. The trailer looks very interesting. I'm more excited now than I was before for it, and also Pokemon because I'm a big Pokemon fan.
Yeah. Pokemon is a big fan as well. I'm really curious what that's going to mean. I'm going to be peeling my eyes on Cerebi.net and seeing different Pokemon connections and what they can try to pull out of that company for what is that core RPG going to be. It sounds like it. If it's not Gen 8, it's going to be, you got to bring like some definitive edition of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'll probably be excited for it no matter what it is.
Yeah, I agree. Get the portability into Pokemon. That's always what they've wanted, and get it in HD. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Kirby looked pretty interesting. I mean, I haven't really played any new Kirby games, so I'll probably get that. But nothing too new or interesting about it, just a new Kirby game.
Yeah, I mean, again, glad they're having it. It's another first party game to kind of flesh it out a little bit. I would rather have something like Animal Crossing come first out of that. I would, I was expecting Pikmin as like a dark horse possible announcement there. So, yeah, like Kirby and Yoshi, a little surprised to see them already talked about so early in it. Yeah, again, as I said, especially without titles. Like, I don't know how you do that. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that was definitely strange. And then for Metroid, I've never played a Metroid game, so I might, play the 2 remake, and I don't know how it would be jumping into the 4th of a series, but I might see. I don't know.
It's hard to say. I mean, Prime 1, 2, and 3 kind of had a through line running through it. It wasn't, so big, but, without any more details, it would be hard to say how 4 is going to connect, much less who's developing it. That's really hard to say. If you were new to the Prime series, I say you can't go wrong with either Metroid Prime if you like 3D games and you're used to 3D games. I think those are easy to pick up and get used to. Or if you have like more traditional 2D side-scrolling routes, definitely go Super Metroid. I think either way, whichever you want to do, it can't go wrong there.
Yeah, I'll probably eventually try that.
They're good games.
Hoping eventually for Virtual Console on the Switch so that I can get definitely some of those old games. Maybe they'll have Metroid and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hope so too. That would any virtual console news I would take these days because I think that's a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, Matthias, really appreciate the feedback. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great rest of the
having
E3. Enjoy the days off, and again, thank you for calling in.
Yep, thank you.
Joining us from Illinois, Video Game Guru 64. Welcome back to the PowerSwitch.
Nice to be back.
Yes, absolutely. You're a big Nintendo fan on this podcast. I'm sure you have lots to talk about with this spotlight here at E3 2017.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed because I was expecting more, but what I got, I guess, is okay for right now, but it'd be a direct in like the fall or something just to say more stuff is on the way.
Yeah, I think we will need a follow-up direct and talk about early 2018 games, like that spring, winter sort of slot. I think that'll be necessary, especially when you have things just like Kirby 2018, Yoshi 2018, like
Metroid. Yeah, we're doing it.
it's a thing.
Pokemon. Yeah, we're
Okay,
doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
2018.
You didn't even get a 2018 for those.
Yeah,
Pokemon, I could
know.
see 2018.
But-
Metroid, I could see 2019.
I agree, especially just saying
yeah,
it's now
Pokemon,
in development.
I could see.
Such a square thing to
Pokemon,
do.
That's so
Pokemon, I could-
depressing.
Pokemon, I could see 2019 too.
It's possible. I mean, but when they turn around games, year after year, I can see them working through it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
wow, that's depressing. Just say, if especially if they drop, Metroid
already
Prime
have-
4 coming out in 3 years or so.
Now in development.
Right for Nintendo, they would announce games like this year or next year. That's basically what they do, unless it's Zelda, which is far off.
So is there anything else? I mean, particularly, so like Breath of the Wild. I know you put in a lot of time with Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. You're on our spoiler cast there for the PowerSwitch. Thoughts on the DLC? Did you like what you saw?
Yeah, I kind of wanted the two to go further into the story instead of going back into the past and seeing what happened to the calamity happen.
I'm of the mind that I think that you kind of reached its end, especially if Calamity Ganon is gone. Oh, sorry, spoilers. But you're kind of reached an end point, once the story has kind of run its course.
Well, they were going back to Mipha's dad and saying they were going back to say what happened and what it's going to take to rebuild and everything. So it was like, oh, that could be another game, but no.
Impossible. I could have seen it like there would be some sort of warp point in the world if maybe you wanted to be teleported to a whole different world. They build out a separate but smaller map. So just for a new place to explore. Anytime that I think that would maybe be possible if it were in the current timeline. But I'm interested. Imagine if we somehow get to control the champions, especially when you're talking about the amiibo of them. That's exciting. I'd imagine you'd still be playing as Link, but that's possible.
There's like in Wind Waker with Pa and those dungeons.
Yeah, kind of leading them through a partner system. That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Just as long as they have weapons that don't break and I don't have to worry about outfitting 4 more people.
Don't worry about their weapons. I think on the indie front, I think Rocket League's a really big announcement. When I heard that prediction from a podcast, I'm pretty sure it was Danny O'Dwyer on the Kind of Funny Games cast, driving like that. It makes sense. They want to get that game everywhere, and they keep working on it. It's it makes perfect sense on Switch.
Oh yeah, I think that'll be great.
Though they spend a little too much time on Rocket League. Actually, they spend a little too much time on kind of everything we already knew. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, had they not shown Rocket League a second time, Rabbids again, we could have had a trailer for this Metroid.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or you just make it 30 minutes long. I don't know why it's 25.
Or you just make it an hour long and give us everything that you're gonna give us in the treehouse.
Yeah, I get it. At a certain point, you give us an inch, you will want a mile, and they'll want to. We want to see. They want people to tune into the direct, basically, or the direct and the treehouse. So I see the balance there. Yeah, I can't help but keep looking at this Metroid 2 remake and seeing all the bomb jumping. It's really interesting.
It's another Metroid 2 remake.
Yeah, another.
It's a second to another.
Yeah.
I know a couple of Metroid fans
another.
that I'm really looking forward to talking to them about it because one in particular, for those Show Me Your News listeners, Tony TH, he was big on AM2R and it's just like, dude, you got to play it, and I'm sure he's totally jazzed by this news. It's so exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Great time of year to be a Nintendo fan, E3. So, Video Game Guru 64, really appreciate the time. Thank you for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your E3, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, see ya.
And joining us from North Carolina, Damon, welcome back to the Power Switch.
And last but not least,
there you go. Let's wrap up our Nintendo E3 2017 discussion. And what did you think of the conference?
So going into it, I had some pretty low expectations, and as a matter of fact, that's going to be my topic here. And I was like, I think I was kind of blown away because at first we thought it was going to be an hour, then it was going to be half an hour, 25 minutes. And, it just felt like every time we talked about the damn thing, it kept getting shorter. And they said it was going to be mostly 2017 stuff, and I'm like, but we pretty much know the 2017 lineup. But it just was kind of shaking up to be like, this is going to be super pedestrian at best. But then we got what we got, and towards the middle there between Pokemon and Metroid Prime. I don't know if you've ever seen that "It's Happening" GIF, but that was me in my room. And that is the greatest troll, by the way. Pokemon being announced the way they did it, and they had a Pokemon Direct days before E3, where they could have everybody was like, "Oh, I guess Pokemon Switch isn't happening. Oh no, I guess we're only getting Pokken. That sucks." And then this guy just kind of chilling in his room is like, "Actually, we're doing that. Peace." And that's what happened. So now that we're kind of a little bit past that, now I would like to talk about how my big boss actually came true.
You nailed it. Well done. Proud of you. That's excellent. Yeah, you're so close to the Kiefer too. For those that missed our prediction show, Damon said that we'd have both Metroid for both Switch and for 3DS. But then the added wrinkle, the big Kiefer prediction would be that the 3DS game would be on Switch and 3DS. It'd be for both. This 2.5 2D. Yeah, well done. Totally nailed it.
Yeah.
Totally surprised.
So am I.
Oh, you can use Amiibo with it.
Whoa, really?
One of the little icons in
really?
the corner or down at the very bottom is the Amiibo icon.
So it is.
That is interesting. I guess I may have been going ballistic with my big boss and keeper prediction. Now I'm looking at you, Microsoft. Like, hey, make it a clean sweep for me. Come on. I know you want to. We already have two, by the way, games with crossplay between consoles in Rocket League and Minecraft, which also is kind of a beautiful thing for me to see. It's kind of, I don't know if anybody else has ever had this sort of fantasy, but I've always wanted gaming to be a bit more unified environment. The console wars thing is kind of toxic. I've always felt, it'd be pretty interesting if gamers on any platform could play together. And it's good to see we're taking steps in that direction. Now, we may never go completely there where every game is every multi-platform, I guess, is universal across all platforms. But that we have more than one game in the world that has crossplay is just a really special thing to me.
Yeah, that is the dream, and you get that there has to be competition between the main companies, right? So I get why they do that, but it is great when people can come together and play. And you're absolutely right. I mean, to see cross network play for Rocket League, that's awesome. For Minecraft, I think I read that Sony isn't too keen on having their worlds participate, but at least for when they're talking about iOS for Microsoft and for Switch, they all seem to be on board. So it's all a matter of who wants to play along, who wants to be nice. And you're right, it's a dream, and it should be one that we all aspire to have.
Sony would be the one, wouldn't they?
They're in a position of power. They feel a little confident. I don't know. It's a little cocky.
Yeah. So coming straight out of the digital event before the treehouse started, I was like, I might give it a solid B. It was much more engaging than I thought it would be. But can that? I think that grade may steadily be rising as we go on, because another Metroid, another remake.
Yeah, if they keep making announcements like this, the overall E3 grade by the end of it will definitely be quite nice.
Oh yeah.
But it for me, it's just been a real great E3 in general. I even got my quota for truly megaton announcements in the form of both Pokemon and Metroid Prime 4, in addition to what all the other consoles are doing. It's it's just pretty great to see. It's a good time to be a fan of games.
Absolutely, it's been a great E3, and for you and for everyone else that's called in, I'm really appreciative that we kind of got to spend this E3 together, and to hear your feedback directly after these conferences. It's been really awesome. I'm glad it's kind of memorialized in this podcast form.
Oh yeah, it's especially all the other callers, hearing their perspectives. It's real great to listen to. It's real great to be a part of. I really appreciate that you have done this, and I mean personally, I'm so glad and fortunate that I even found out that the PowerSwitch existed, because I just stumbled upon that. But I'm so happy.
Really found out at just the right time.
Yep.
Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I'm glad it's a format that can work for so many people, and for Dashing Nerds as well. I mean, to have your platform, Scott, to be able to do the before and during reactions,
and all the before stuff and during. It's been a lot of fun, and it's another. We've always had good times watching these conferences together for the past tons of years. So it's always fun to add this now to it as well.
For sure. Well, Damon, thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your E3, and we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, Scott, it's the end of another E3.
It is.
It's sad to see it go. But I want to thank you so much for being here. It's been a delight. In the past we've just been watching conferences, but now with our own brands or our websites, and we want to keep feeding that beast. We want to keep providing content. It's been a lot of work this year, but it's been good work. Yeah, and I'm really happy we've done it, and it's made it extra special. Yeah,
it definitely. And it seems as we get older, these E3 conferences just come by a lot faster. Like, really, even though it's a year, it's like you blink and it's 6 months till E3. Blink again, E3's next week.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But it's been a good one. It's definitely, we've gotten some good announcements, some good surprises. Scorpio Xbox One X looks interesting. I'll be anxious to follow that and see how that does. Nintendo and the things they're announcing, the stuff Sony did, and we still have an entire week. Like the main show doesn't even start until it started today. So who knows what else we'll still have. But it also, thank you so much for letting me be part of be here on the PowerSwitch to help you with this year. It's been a lot of fun talking and interacting with your audience and the callers, so it's been a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. Really appreciate your insight as well. We both know, I think, quite a lot about games for not being out on the West Coast and going to E3. I think we can provide a pretty calm, pretty collected sort of knowledge base for people to feel like they can gather and share thoughts about what we're seeing and experiencing together.
Yeah, educated discussions, and we know what we're talking about, and we love hearing about you guys. And who knows, maybe next year we'll be like, hey, let's actually go to E3, because now that it's open to public.
That's
Who
very
knows?
possible.
Who
And
knows?
we'll do shows from
We'll do
maybe
live
the hotel
on,
room.
Jeff Keighley.
If not the hotel room, the show floor, and we
Yeah.
can dream and go bigger. So, very possible. Again, go check out dashingnerds.com on Twitter at Dashing Nerds, Facebook Dashing Nerds. They do great stuff there. You can check out their YouTube series Time Hops.
Yes, we drink craft beer and we play old retro video games.
And that's with Greg as well, right?
Yep, that's
so,
Greg.
so
He was
Greg
on earlier for the Microsoft press conference, and he called in for the EA conference.
Yep.
So check that out, or youtube.com/Dashing Nerds. So our first season of Time Hops concluded, and we're kind of working and figuring out for season 2. So
Absolutely.
should be good.
Well, Scott, it's been a pleasure.
Always, sir.
Yeah,
Always.
so- For Scott White, I am Peter Spezia. Thank you so much for tuning into our E3 2017 coverage. We'll tally up those yes or no questions. We'll get the winner from that contest on our post E3 show, and it'll be a lot of fun. With that, until next time, switch up, call in, game on.